Afternoon to our students in CAID 500. Welcome to our remote virtual seminar for pre-employment seminar for our CAID 500 students. Now, this is the second batch of our seminar. We had the first batch this morning, and I hope that all those who have enrolled in CAID 500 have attended the seminar. No? So let me share my screen. Okay, share. Okay, and then all right. So I'm not sure if Benji, you have a copy of the PowerPoint because this afternoon there will be two speakers. No, I will be starting to deliver to share to you the first half of the presentation, and then Benji, Sir Benji, will continue the topic because I will be attending an equally important meeting. So this is your CAID 500, and your CAID 500 is a unique course, no? Unique course offered by the University of Mindanao. You cannot find this in other university, and why this is offered to our students, particularly our graduating students, senior students, because it aims to help you. It aims to bolster your chances of getting the job that you want, especially when you graduate after your graduation and then you're going to apply for the job that you wish to have, no? Then the things that we are going to discuss this afternoon will help you prepare yourself for that, all right? So that's the intention of CAID 500. There are three components. Another unique thing about CAID 500 is that these are divided into three tranches, no? Three components. The first component is handled by the Guidance and Testing Center, and that is 30% of your grade. I think in the Guidance and Testing Center, you were taught about the Filipino traits, work traits, no, personality, and the like. All right. For component B and component C of your CAID 500, these are handled by the External Relations Office, and that's our office. No. Component B is 30% of your grade, while component C is 40% of your grade. That's why you have to make it sure that you have attended all the components for you to be able to, make it sure that you have completed the requirements of the course. This is how you are being assessed or graded, no, in CAE 500. So that it's flash on screen how the Guidance and Testing Center graded you, no? How you are being evaluated. And then for component B, your attendance today, your participation today is given 35 points. You will be required also to submit a sample application letter and resume. That's 30 points each, and there will be coaching session. For component C, again, that's 40% of your grade. There will be another seminar and a mock interview. That's 40 points. Career portfolio, you will be required to submit a sample career portfolio. That's 35 points. We will be having a culmination program. That's 20 points. Your participation to that program is 20 points. Okay. So please take note of those stuff. You have to complete all those for you to be able to get a grade in CAED 500. But more than the grade, we wish, no, we aim that you will learn from the course. Okay. For our topic this afternoon, there are three things that we are going to discuss. All right. And later on, you can raise questions, you can ask questions. We will respond to your questions. So we encourage you to ask questions. All right. So there are three things that we are going to talk about. One is how are you going to prepare a winning application letter and resume? And these two important documents together, no? Magkasabay ito, di ba, na isa-submit are prerequisite for you to proceed to the next stage of your application, which is the interview. All right. You may receive or you may not receive any call, any feedback from your first phase of application, which is the submission of your application letter and resume based on the content, based on how impressive the content of your resume and of your application letter. The second topic that we are going to talk about this afternoon, which Benji will share to you, is how are you going to ace in job interview, all right? And if the resume, the purpose of which is for you to go get an interview, the purpose of the interview is for you to get the job, all right? And some things that you need to observe in your social media, all right? And after the talk, there will be some activity, no? Benji will give you some activity. So let's start in writing a cover letter. And why write a cover letter? Well, first reason is to show your communication skills, your writing skills. Okay? Wait lang, kay may call. uh, to show your communication skills, your writing skills, regardless of your program, no, whether you're into criminology, whether you're into engineering, whether you're into other technical courses, technical degrees, you have to write in the future, no, in your future career. Well, for example, for criminology students, no, in what instance they will be required to write in their profession. Like for example, if they're going to work in the PNP, so they will be writing PNP, a police report, an incident report, and the like. All right. So communication, whatever is your course, whatever is your degree, is a requirement. No. So that's why the first stage of evaluating, assessing the potential, the ability of the applicant to write well is through the application letter. No, it will give an idea to the hiring officer whether this applicant can really write. To highlight the purpose of the letter and introduce the writer or the applicant to the reader. That's why it's very important that you have to study, you have to read and understand what are the requirements of the position, and that's how are you going to attack, that's how are you going to write, that's how are you going to respond the requirement through your application letter. And the other reason is that, you know, that's the first document among the series of documents that you are going to submit to the hiring officer or to the HR. And reading your application letter will give an impression, an idea whether the reader will continue to read, no, your the rest of the documents that you have. All right. Okay. So how are you going to write a winning cover letter? All right. One is you have to write there your inside address. No, you, you are going to write the name of the addressee. That's very important. It's not enough that you just write the manager or the president of the company. No, it's not enough. You have to get the name of the addressee. If you don't have any idea of the name, the exact name, the correct name, then you have to call the company, search that, research, do something. If you have the chance to pay a visit to the company or to the organization or to the agency, then you pay a visit or you call, no, the HR. Usually it's the HR in charge of that, right? You call to whom you are going to address the letter, including the position. Do not miss the position, the name of the company and the address. All right, that's how you're going to do it. Okay. And then salutation. You have to be what? You have to be formal in the tone of your salutation. Do not write dear because, you know, Tagalogin mo ang dear, minamahal kong. And when you say that in your letter, we said that letter must be formal in nature, the tone must be formal, it must be corporatist sounding. Therefore, dear will diminish the intention of formality in your letter, the tone of your letter, all right? Unless you are very close to the person or unless you are already part of the company, all right? Or unless you write something, you prepare a letter and you know already the person, you know each other, all right? So you can write dear. But if it is not, especially if it's application letter, then do not write dear. Introductory paragraph. Now, in the first paragraph of your letter, you state there how did you get to know about the information of the position and mention your interest, no, for the job. Whether you got the information from the local paper, the announcement, from a radio announcement, from a TV announcement, or from posting, no, in a public employment service office, or did somebody told you about it, then you have to cite that person. Okay, so that's how you do it. Why is that important? Because these companies, especially if they're making information dissemination of their job openings, they want to know whether the thing that they did was effective, no? And if you're going to do that, then therefore at least will give them something to be happy about, that what they did was effective. The second paragraph, or the middle paragraph, sounds like the Middle Kingdom in the anong palabas yon, Lord of the Rings, no? The middle paragraph, this is where you're going to describe your qualifications. This is where you're going to highlight your education, your training, no, your exposure, and your characteristics and attributes relevant to the position. Say relevant, no? For example, your OJT or professional work, no, or any experience or any skills, any talents that you have which you think are relevant, no, are important in the performance of the position. Okay, closing paragraph, you close your letter by thanking the reader and requesting for an interview, and do not forget to mention your contact number or your email address, and or your email address, because this information about you are very important, especially if there's a need for you to proceed to the next stage of application, or if they will be requiring you some documents, no? So that's how will they do it, all right? And then close. You close your letter, just the same thing in the salutation. You close your letter by, you have to be again formal. No, do not say very truly yours, because when you say very truly yours, Tagalogin mo yan siya, ako'y iyong buong buo. Again, it's not formal, all right? It's not professional sounding closing, no? So you can say there respectfully or sincerely, and then your name, and then your signature, all right? So maybe you can write from there, as I said, that one requirement that you're going to have in CAID 500 is to write your sample application letter. So from there, probably you can write your winning application letter. I have here another example. No? This is submitted by one of our CAID 500 students. No? So the name is there, the position of the person is there, and then Mr. Baluran. And then you have there, I would like to apply for internship in the medical psychiatric department to join your STEAM organization. I saw a listing advertised on your official website searching for job.com about your company's need of interns. Okay. So the criteria, the qualification, or the thing that we're talking about for the first paragraph is there. I'm a graduating student taking up Bachelor of Science in Psychology, have 1 year experience of being a previous officer in our program's academic organization. So the applicant is talking about his experience when he was a student. No? And then there's a closing. Again, there's a contact number and thank you. All right. Sincerely, the name of the applicant, and then the signature. Okay. Let's proceed to the next, which is the resume. And it says here that the resume is your personal brochure to market yourself. It should give your potential employer a quick view of what you can do for them. So it's like, if you're interested of buying a gadget like a laptop or a cell phone or something, probably the first thing that you are going to do is to grab a copy of a brochure and then find out whether the features, no, or the specifications of that particular thing suit your needs. The same thing in a resume, no. So you have to think, you have to study and read in advance what are the requirements of the position, what are the requirements of the company, what they need, no, from an applicant, and that's how are you going to fit in, no, prepare and conceptualize, no, and write your resume. Okay. uh, for new graduates just like you, no, you can list your accomplishments in school. Do not. It has been a question this morning's participants, no, for the morning session about what if they don't have much experience, work experience? What are they going to write? Okay, so You have there, do not worry about not having work related accomplishments. You can pick out those school accomplishments that show responsibility, dependability, cooperative spirit, and the like. So the advice there is that while you are still in school, make the most of your stay. No, grab every opportunity for you to be able to explore yourself, no, get out from your comfort zone, like you participate in volunteer work, no, volunteer program now spearheaded by the community extension office, or some student activities spearheaded by the office of the student affairs, or some other things, no, that may, show your leadership potential, your teamwork, no, and dependability. So that's why, because when you apply for jobs after your graduation, the thing there is that you're not going to apply for some high level positions already, no? In most cases, you're going to apply for an entry level positions. Like, okay? So ang kalaban mo din doon, yung mga nasa entry level din, mga pareho mo din graduate. Na ngayon, anong advantage meron ka over them, no, compared to them? So, you involve yourself in many activities, in many stuff, no? So these are the contents, no? The format that you may follow when you're writing your resume. One is, of course, you have to start your name. The most important, in a descending order, your address, and then your contact number and your email address. Again, contact number and email address are very important, especially if they want you to submit another document, or if they will inform you that you are going to proceed to the next stage, which is the interview. And then you provide a summary statement, all right? Summary statement about yourself, okay? About your qualifications, no? Something that fits in your, something that fits to the requirement of the organization. And then your work or OJT experience, no? Then your job responsibilities, your accomplishments, and then your education. So you see, in writing the resume, there is nothing there that, you know, some information that are not relevant to the position. For example, something about your parents' name, no, your siblings' name, or your height, weight, and religion. I mean, these are not important. These are not significant to the position. Okay. So a resume should answer these key questions. When you write, when you frame your resume, make this as your checklists, no? And find out if the information that you have provided in your resume have answered these questions. Like, what can you do for me? So it talks about your ability, no, your competence, your exposure. These are the position requirements of the position you think you can perform based on your talents, based on your skills. Do you have the skills I'm looking for? Where have you worked before? No? Is your experience relevant to my needs? Do you have the right education and credentials? And what kind of person are you? And where can I contact you? So, as I said, when you write your resume, you go back to these key questions and find out if you have answered them as you prepare your resume. Okay, these are some of the skills that, these are generic skills, no, that you need to make it sure, please make it sure that you have this, no, and it will give you a competitive edge, competitive advantage over the other applicant. One is communication skills. And when we speak about communication skills, it's your ability to express yourself, no? Share an idea when you receive a message, an information, an idea. How do you process that and how you share that to other people, all right? So communication skills is not only about your ability to speak in English, but it's your ability to respond to questions, no, and participate in a relevant discussion. Okay, problem solving skills. Okay, responsibility, eagerness to learn. Yan. Because there is an impression pa naman that your generation, some of you have this audacious attitude. Alam mo yung audacious attitude, yung parang self-entitlement attitude na you know better, you deserve to be paid, you deserve this level of salary, you know, you deserve this and that because I do not know kung saan galing yung hugot na yon, no, ng self-entitlement na yon. Grabe, now may mga ganyan ang mga some of you, some of your generation this time. The way you speak, that's why you have to be careful, and that's why we include social media etiquette in Kain 500, because that's one thing that noticed from our many young students, no, this time generation. And then you have their creative thinking, no, people skills or social skills. That's why it's important that you're not only, you don't have only many friends from the same age group that you have, but one important thing is that you have to check, no, from your bucket list of friends, if how many of these are mature, more mature than you are, and have higher positions, you know, and who can help you someday. Okay? Ako, I remember when I was 20s, when I was like your age, I have quite a number of friends who are in their 30s and 40s and who have supervisory and managerial positions, so that when I seek help from them, not necessarily that, you know, help me to get a job, but, you know, sometimes coaching, advising. I have an interview. Can you help me how to respond to some of the potential questions that will be raised during job interview? Things like that. You know what I mean? So it's not enough that you have friends, but find out how many of your friends are more mature and have better exposure and are more experienced than you are. No, personal skills, self-management, and technical skills. When you say technical skills, this is related to the profession, to the course that you have finished, no? And then, how to develop these skills? One is school. That's why it's not enough na plain student ka lang, no? Nag-aral ka lang, pasok ka lang, submit ka ng assignment, answer ka ng question, and that's it, di ba? The school is the best environment, no, and the best stage of your life where you can really develop yourself and make the most of your stay while you are still in that level, to develop yourself, to expand yourself, no, widen your horizon, expand your reach. Okay, kaya participate kayo ng mga activities, mga organizations. You will learn from that, no? You will appreciate that once you're in your, you know, the world of work, or when you will be seeking your career, you will appreciate that, no? The good training that you will get while you're still in school. Social activities, no? You socialize with people. Dapat you also establish network, as I said, and as I've been telling you, you establish network with people who are more mature, who are more experienced than you are, because, you know, just by going with them, talking with them, being with them, you will learn something from them. Okay, hobbies, no, your hobbies, because from your hobbies, you will also learn from that, no, critical thinking, analytical thinking, no, volunteer work, okay, house chores, doing house, you know, things, house stuff, will help you, you know, become patient, become industrious, organized, be organized in yourself, and then community work. All right, so please take note of this. How long should a resume be? It should be 2 pages only, because HR people are busy people. They don't have the luxury of time to read your resume. All right. So that's one challenge. How are you going to make your resume, uh, even in a 2 page document? How are you going to make it more interesting and responsive to the needs and requirements of the company? What should I include in my personal data? Well, I said that, you know, things that will tend to discriminate you, just like height, weight, and religion. I mean, those are not important, all right? Should I put my photo in my resume? My answer there is no. If you ask HR people, their answer is yes. Because of course, They want to know yung mukha ng aplikante. Pero let's accept the fact that we human beings, we have biases toward good looks, all right? And if you are not endowed with good looks, the thing is that we ask photographer to Photoshop our photo to make us good look. No, we are so concerned about things like that. How we look, we want perfections. No, we want that other people will like us the way we look. No, and then we tend to be frustrated if we don't get that attention. No, treatment from other people, and so it's not good because you should not be hired based on how you look unless you're applying for a model, no? But you have to bank on your capability, on your potential, no? On your competence, all right? Anyway, if the company really wants you to submit a picture, unless it is explicitly mentioned in the announcement of the position that when you submit your resume, you include your photo, then do that. But if it is not mentioned, if it is not explicitly mentioned, then you do not submit. Okay, that's my suggestion. I think I'm done. I will ask Benji to take over. Benji, you have copy of the PowerPoint.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I will stop sharing and then to continue, you have to listen carefully to continue the topic and our session this afternoon. We'll have Sir Benji Mainopas.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. So let's continue the discussion with regards to the component B seminar. So one of the topics that we have to discuss this afternoon is successful interviewing. So we're done with our application letter and resume, and it has been mentioned, no, Sir Ray, how important these documents are because these documents, will help you, to have the interview. No? So of course, once you're being called, for an interview, it is very important to uh, put on your mind that preparation is half the battle. Okay, so we really have to prepare. How candidates behave during the interview is often seen as an indicator of how they will perform. Okay? The better prepared you are, the less nervous you will feel, and the more confident you will appear. The more you know about the purpose of the interview and the organization, the better your response to the questions. That is why, Vital, our diba, makita natin sa mga pageant, they really prepared, for months, before going to the competition. So there's a need, to really prepare so that you'll be able to perform well and you'll not get nervous, once you will be, on the room, for an interview. So yun. So mentioned dyan, the better prepared you are, the less nervous you will feel and the more confident you will appear. So kaya yun, there are times, that you will be, meron talagang nervousness, but then it will become lessened once you know or once you are being prepared. Especially in knowing, the purpose of the interview or even knowing the organization. So in that way, you'll be able to respond to the questions well. So anyways naman in an interview, meron naman mga common questions. So that's why you can really search, for it, kung ano yung mga appropriate answers for that. So it's up to you na how you're going to perform it, once andyan ka na sa interview. So again, there are a lot of things, that you can do in order for you to prepare. So because that's actually a battle. Why it becomes a battle? Kasi nga, madami kayo, different schools, na mag-graduate on that year. So hindi ikaw lang yung nagva-vie for that position. So kailangan i-prepare mo talaga yourself. Okay, so what the hiring managers are looking for? So una ito, the ability to perform the job, of course. So pag makita natin, di ba, sa mga advertisement, so merong mga qualifications doon. So that's the first thing that you're going to do. You have to check, the qualifications for that position. So can you do the job? Okay. And then second is fit, culture and personality. So it talks about your attitude. So the attitude, that um, an employee should have in that kind of position. And motivation and enthusiasm. Are you really willing to work on that? Do you have that motivation? No. O ano ba yung hugot mo sa life? No? Why do you want to have that kind of position? Past accomplishment, how can you help the organization? So you really have to sell yourself. Okay? So in order for them to know, no, what are your past accomplishments? So dapat, no, ngayon pa lang we're starting to build, no, our experiences or even accomplishments. So that's why it's very important to really join seminars, no, or even contests in the school. And you really have to do that one in order for you to become confident also on selling yourself. On how can you be able to help the organization. So knowledge of the company. So kailangan alam natin, no, ano yung mga ginagawa ng company, what are the products or ano yung binibigay nila na service, no, to the clients. So dapat alam natin 'yon or ano yung talagang main function ng company na 'yan. Communication skills, no, not necessarily that you're really good in English kasi that's how we define kasi communication skill. You really have to speak the language, but it's not though it's very important also that you know the language, but communication skills, no, talks about on how you're going to present yourself, no, and also present the company. So since you will be part of that, so communication skills, as long as, no, the person can really understand, no, your thoughts, or you can really explain well, no, your thoughts on that kind of situation, no, or for that kind yung position na yan, then that's it. You can be part of the company. So those are the things that you have to remember, no? Those are the factors, no, that the hiring managers are looking for. So generally, what employers most look for an interview are these three. You just have to remember these three questions. First is that, can you do the job? Okay, this talks about your skills, talents, competencies, and abilities. And you're very confident with this. Why? Because you've been here in the university for years, no? 4 years, iba pa nga, 5 years, di ba? So that means you're already honed in terms of skills, talents, competencies, and abilities. No, I believe that the from what college you are right now, you have been molded, no, by the teachers or even your organizations. No, what are the skills, no? What are those competencies? No, na-check na yung lahat and the abilities. So I believe, no, na-hone talaga. So that means you can really do the job. You just have to really present, no, your skill, the talents, and even the competencies based on the qualifications na ibibigay for that position. Will you do the job? Ito, another thing, no? Your interest, your motivation, the right values to work. Okay? So, ano ba yung motivation mo, no, to really do the job? Okay? Is it really on finances? Or ano ba? Ano ba yung mga gusto mo? So, on the interview, no, you can really express that one, no, as long as you know, no, ano yung kinakailangan for that job. So the motivation, the interest towards that position is also important. Okay. So will you fit in the company and its culture? So it talks about interpersonal skills, adaptability, positive work attitude. So ito, every company, no, is diverse. No, they have their own culture. So in that way, can you fit on that culture, no, of the company? So kinakailangan din yon that you know how to fit yourself, no, in order na di ka mahimumurag kaning primadonna ba or kaning you become arrogant, no? So very important that you know how to fit. So we have to work out on our interpersonal skills, the adaptability, okay, and also our positive work attitude, because definitely there will be people na mamimit mo dyan, no, different attitudes, no, different backgrounds. No, same thing with you, no, like iba din yung background mo, but once you know how to fit, no, yourself to the culture's company, so on that way, no, you can also be part of the company. So those are, no, um, factors na hinahanap ng mga employer, no, during the interview. So once you'll be able to fulfill, no, these factors, so surely you'll be the best applicant for that, or that interview of yours, no, will really give you, no, the slot for that position. Okay. So, paano natin isa-structure yung answers natin sa mga common job interviews? So, this is our advice. So, just have to three three um, steps, no? First is answer the question in a simple and straightforward way. Go directly to the point. So ano yung question? Give the answer. And on that answer, you give your supporting evidence. Okay? It could be a situation, no? Or as long as it can support, no, your point on that question. And then you can wrap it up or restate your point. So gaya ng mga ginagawa ng mga tawag nito ng mga um, nasa pageant, no, ng mga candidates. No? They always start with the answer and then they give supporting evidence to that answer and then they wrap it up. Okay? So, yun, those are the three steps to really perfect the interview answer. And di lang siya pinakalit lang, no, that you can learn on this. So you really have to practice, no? Practice, you structure your answer. Anyways, yun nga, there are common questions naman in an interview. So I'll give, no, those common questions. So most common job interview questions are this. Tell me something about yourself. Okay? So makita man natin to sa internet or even mga videos, no, sa TikTok gani meron na to or even sa YouTube, no, na how to answer this kind of questions. So dili na gid siya lisod, no, for you, no, kahit first time mo to be interviewed kasi nga you can really research, no, these common job interview questions. So tell me something about yourself. No, do not get personal or long-winded na ingon pa nimo your age, saan ka nakatira, sinong mama mo, what's the occupation of your father, and so on and so forth, or even your height, you will tell it. No, it's not like that. You just go directly, no, 1 to 2 minute synopsis of what qualifies you and what makes you perfect candidate for the job. Okay, saan ka magbe-base niyan? You go back to the qualifications, no? Andun yung qualifications with that kind of position, so you can actually tell that one, no, based on your experience, no, your skills, no, and your attitude towards the work. So use what you know about the job to describe the strengths, accomplishments, and experiences relevant to the position. So tell me something about yourself. You can prepare on this kasi common talaga to na sinasabi or in-ask na question, no, during the job interview. So you just describe your strengths, accomplishment, and even your experiences na relevant to the position. So it's up to you na how you're going to organize that one. And then you go back to the structure. Ano yung structure mo on that? Okay? Okay, another most common job interview question is, what do you know about our company? So mentioned a while ago, you really have to know the company, no, the vision, mission, and goals, or ano yung mga transaction ng company, or ano yung product na binibenta, or ano yung ino-offer nila. So try to reveal that you know not only facts about the company, but you have taken an analytical view of the company. Ayun. So like for example, di ba, dito sa UM, you can highlight, no, that they are ISO accredited, no, PQA grantee. So mga ganun na mga ano ng mga school or even that company. So knowing or researching about the company is very important. In addition to citing information about their company, try to note their key competitors and any trends in the industry. So again, research, know about the company. All right. Another is, what is your greatest weakness? Okay. So one candidate, no, in Miss Universe, no, I think you are familiar with that, no? She was asked about, no, what's the major problem that she has encountered in her life, and then she mentioned there's no major problem, no, na encounter niya in her life, and I believe that every one of us has weakness. So kinahanglan, there's a need for us to really accept that one, because once you do not accept that you have weaknesses, no, that you have mistakes that you've done in the past, so that means you become very self-centered, no, arrogant, no, you're very proud of yourself, no, that it's very ideal na a person has never encountered mistakes in life. Okay? So you really have to admit that one. What kind of weakness do you have? But one thing is good, once you mention that weakness, you can actually highlight on how did you overcome that weakness and it becomes your strength. Okay? The interviewer asks this to see if you're honest and self-aware. So self-awareness is also very important, no? and you become honest. And part of that, di ba, ang honesty is part of our core values sa UM, di ba? Honesty and integrity. So really you have to be honest na meron talagang weakness. So everyone has weaknesses. So saying you don't have any won't work. Okay? So the best way to answer is to think of a weakness you've already taken steps to remedy, give concrete examples of what you're doing to improve. Okay? So, isip-isip ka na ng mga weaknesses mo, and then how did you overcome that one? Okay? Ano yung mga steps mo? No? Like for example, in terms of time, no? You're not punctual. Okay? So, how did you overcome no, na yung punctuality mo no, ay yung pagiging late mo na it turned out to become no your asset no na you become punctual no, to your work or even to your assignment no sa pagpasa no you are advanced na no on the deadline so mga ganun so again when you ask about your weakness you really have to set or mention no, a weakness of yours and how did you overcome that weakness that it becomes your strength. Okay, most common job interview question, why should we hire you? Okay, don't be afraid to say that you are the best person for the job. Okay, back up your answers with why and how can you help them. Okay, so balik ka doon. So, yung three questions. No, can you do the job? No, will you do the job or yung isa, will you fit the job? So yun, kasi you have the skills naman. You have the competencies, you have that right motivation to do the job, and you know that you can fit no to whatever backgrounds no that meron ka or you can really fit no, to the company's culture. So you can be the best person no for the job. So sell them with your experience and your passion. So ito mismo yung mga fear no ng mga yung parang walang experience, ka-graduate lang. That also becomes your edge, no? That you're willing to be trained, no? That you're committed to be trained by someone no, in the company. So and that way, that becomes also your edge, especially no mga millennials, no that tawag nito, no our world has really vast change, no and you know how to adapt no on this, especially na very techy na ngayon and um the millennials no can really do the job because they are also techy no na naman mo sa ingani na age so that means that even you don't have that experience but as long as you have that passion no to sell yourself that you're willing to learn and you're willing to be with others then you can really say no that you're the best person for the job. So another is, do you have any question? So the interviewer wants to see if you're actually interested in the job or if it's just a placeholder until you find something else. Okay? If you're truly attracted to the opportunity, then these questions should come naturally. You might want to know what the culture is like, more details about the day-to-day responsibilities, or what the expectations are for the role. So think about the position and decide what questions you need to answer before you can take the job. So it's very important that you not go out no, in the room without asking a question. Okay? So it will lead no na parang you're not interested for the position. So never go out of the room without asking a question. So make sure na no na those questions that are relevant to the position no or to the job baka kasi maging personal na yung mga questions so iba na mangyayari sa inyo. Okay? So that's not the intention no of having that job interview. Okay, you can ask about like they support will they support for a graduate studies no or yung mga sinabi kanina yung mga responsibilities no the culture no, of the company and what are their expectations no for the role. So in that way, no you can decide if you're willing to be part of the company or not. Okay? Okay, another. So what can you contribute most to our organization? Hala, another contribution? Okay. So, abi ba na ako na-interview lang ni siya, natin mag-contribute eh. Okay. So, kidding aside. So, answer this question by highlighting your experiences related to the position and your personal characteristics which are relevant to the performance of the job. Okay. Okay. So, we're done with those common questions. So pwede ra jud kayo na ma-answeran no katong common questions no as long as you can research or practice. Okay. But we have to deal with this common interview mistakes. Okay, especially sa mga wala pa experience no sa pag-interview. So you have to bear this on your mind no, during the interview, answering cell phone or texting. So it's a no-no. So this survey no comes from the um, EMAP no. So this is actually an organization no, for mga HR. Okay, 69% dressing inappropriately. So anyways, here in CAED, so that's why it's very unique, no? A special course ito siya. Kasi meron din tayo on the next week, we will be tackling on personality development. So part of that is, what are your job interview attire na meron kayo dapat. So this is dressing inappropriately no, is one of the common mistakes during the job interview. Appearing disinterested. So, siguro yung mag-slouch ka. No, that's why no, on componency seminar we'll be talking about non-verbal communication. Okay, appearing arrogant. Okay, this is very important that you should not outsmart no your interviewer. So dapat humble jud ka during the interview. Dili pwede magpaunsa even though no you've seen na basta you're being disturbed with the enunciation of the interviewer and other distractions na meron ka, but you really have to appear no that you're very interested to that person. Do not become arrogant. Okay? Another is appearing unprepared. So yan, sinasabi natin, preparation is half the battle. Okay, chewing gum. Okay, ito. Common ito sa mga lalaki, di ba? Especially that once, ito yung mechanism natin once we are in a nervous manner, di ba? Nervous tayo. So, but it's a no-no. Okay, muna kagkanding no na, na while nagastorya. So, it's a no-no during the job interview. So, not providing specific answers. Okay? Very important that you give specific answers kasi hindi naman siya like sa pageant that you only have 30 seconds to answer. So during the interview, it's really a job. A long interview depending upon how on your response to that. So that means that you still have time to really answer the question well. So you provide specific answers. So balik tayo dun sa structure natin. Go directly to the point. Give um give samples no to your answer and then you wrap it up. Okay? Not asking good questions. Okay? So yun, you really have to prepare also to ask questions no, during the interview. Again, do not leave the interview room without asking a question. Okay, so ito na. So we're done with those common job interviews. Okay, so very important ito kasi we are now in the social media platforms. No? Halos mga information natin nakukuha natin sa social media. So kaya we have to really check no on what are we post, no? Ano din yung content ng posting natin. Especially that no graduating na tayo, graduating students, tapos you will be part of a company. So isa din yan sa mga tinitingnan ng HR, no? Yung social media accounts ninyo. So time for us no to check and filter our social media, no? Ang pagka-judge na to, no? Basig kinahanglan na i-lessen ang pagka-judge mo sa atong social media. Okay, so why is that so? No, social media no-nos. Una, write negative post. Okay, so I believe kanang guilty ta ani tanan. No, we're really at some point very negative sa mga post natin, especially with the internet connection. No, loy na kasi PLDT o si Globe, si Smart, isa pa na sila mga provider. So ulat-ulat lang siguro si dito, no? But then it's a no-no no in a social media, especially for you guys no or for us no young professionals no kasi tinitingnan ng HR no. So what we post on Facebook can actually be a mirror no of yourself, of who you are. So mas mo ingon pa kadara na I'm not that kind of person, whatever i-mention pa ni mo dara, post ni mo dara with regards to na dili ka na sa ako, but then because you publicize those negative posts no, it will become a reflection of you, of who you are. So whether you like it or not, you will be judged based on your post. So that's why it's very important no, that we have to filter our post, lesson natin, no, in order na maging control din tayo sa ating mga emotion. So, no, 'di ba, in your it's biblical, no? Uh, in your anger do not sin. Okay? Especially mo ba na, no? Sa emotion nato. Mo na mabuntungan nato no the social media and the people no na makakita, no, we will be judged by them. Yeah, what if nakakita sa mo kato imong supervisor? So ano mangyari, no? So wala ta kabalo. Okay? Another is ungrammatical post or use of derogatory language. So ito din, di ba? We're very judgmental in terms of grammatical errors, di ba? So we have also to filter or even check our grammar. So na may Grammarly, no? No, if you want to post something, especially if you want to encourage, no, you want to share, no, your wins in life or ano yung mga activities mo that can inspire other people. So we also have to check, no, our grammar, okay, and also the language that we use, no, on social media. Okay, another, make your post all about you. Okay, di lang sige share mga memes dira, no, without giving your thoughts on it. Okay, nya what if dahil kato din mo na post fake news dito. Okay, so maapil pa ka, no, sa investigation. So once you post something, you have to give, no, your thoughts on it. Okay, pagiging professional din yan. No, that you whether it's political or unsa pa ba na siya ng mga issues, make sure that you give your idea na yan. Okay? Ito yung mga kailangan natin na baguhin, no, on the social media, especially that like right now ang modality, no, more on the internet. So we have to really be aware of it. Okay? So I guess those are our topics, no? In sa interviewing and also in terms of social media. Okay? So very important 'yan sa atin ng mga young professionals. Okay. So if you have questions, no, you can just type it on our Q&A button, or even yung sa nasa YouTube, you can write it on a chat box. So let's have here a question. What if, sir, my work experience is far from my course that I have chosen? And I write it on my resume. Thank you for answering the question. Okay? So it could be, no, pwede mong ilagay sa resume mo, or you may not. But you can actually um, tawag nito, explain it during your interview. So pwedeng ganon, no? Pwede mong ilagay din doon as one way telling them na meron ka experience. Though it's not related, but you can actually discuss that one once during the interview. So pwede. All right. So you still have other questions? Okay, so ito, ang sa appropriate question ang ipaunta na dapat naman, sir. So, I guess with this regard, this talks about, no, you have to really ask questions during the interview. So, as being mentioned kanina, it could be about, no, the expected delivery of the work. Pwede din about na if they are giving priority to those who would like to pursue, no, masters or doctorate degree sa mga ganon, or other do they give trainings, no, they offer trainings, mga libre na mga trainings for you. So pwedeng ganoon ang mga question as long as it's related, no, to the position that you're applying for. So in terms naman of salary, so we have to also tawag nito to be careful on this, no, kasi nga baka ma-box in ka in terms of what kind of amount, no, numbers kasi. So if you have this kind of question, you would encounter this one. So our suggestion or our advice, no, you can let the company na konsensyahin, no, based on telling them, no, that you are aware that the company is following the protocols in terms of minimum, no, na salary as per mention, as being mentioned by the Department of Labor and Employment. and based on your qualifications, you deserve a salary that is worth the work. And of course, pwede po din mo yung na you're committed to be tawag ito, to do more in order na maging relevant ka, no? Your position will become relevant to the company. So, something like that. So kapag may mong 15,000, no? And then pagkahuman, they would offer higher than the 50,000 or lower than the 15,000. So how will you explain that one? So better na neutral. So pakonsensyahin mo. Okay, ganun. Let's say for example, at least 2 years lang ang nahuman sa college. Should I add it on my resume or necessary? Order it. So, ano man siya? Like you have your tawag nito? Or ano? Something na siya. And 2 years lang ng mga courses. So, pwede maghihapon as part of your qualification for educational qualifications. Dahil like mga test doon ng mga courses. Pwede mo din ilagay. Okay, sir, what would be the correct answer if the interviewer asks about you? How do you see yourself 5 years from now? Okay, so this question, now you can tell the company on how will you be relevant to the company. What are the things that you can offer to the company. Okay, so in that way, they'll be able to foresee on how you will perform in the company for 4 years or 5 years from now. So you just go back to your motivation. How do you fit yourself to the company, or even the skills that you have, that you can contribute to the company. Okay. All right. We have other questions pa? Kasi once wala na, let's go to the next part of it. Let's see kung nakinig talaga. Okay, kasi we're going to have our online quiz. Okay? So, don't worry, may prize man siya. Extrinsic motivation para mag-join lahat. Okay. So, if still you have clarifications with regards to the discussion from application letter, resume, and interviewing, so pwede kayo ninyo ibutang sa Q&A. Okay, so let's have first our quiz. Okay, wait lang. Hindi taon sa naku ang quiz for a while. So, tatog kaning music naman. Okay, para ayan. Here it is. Okay, please go to menti.com and then you write your name and also your code para ma-recognize natin, and then use the code 4261549. So we have 57 participants here sa ating group. Meron din tayo sa YouTube. Meron din mga watching right now sa YouTube. So, I'm waiting for players. Ayun, meron ng isa. Okay, dalawa. Expecting mga 30 participants. Okay? Join our online quiz. So, meron tayo mga 5 na they're watching right now on YouTube. So, you join. Okay? Waiting for players. Pasok. Pasok mga suki. Okay, ano lang ang price? GCash. GCash load. Okay. Sige. Uy, 9 lang kabuok. Again guys, join. Sayang ang GCash na load. Okay, write your name and also your code ha. Then, the code 42615494. Yan. Para dili ka mo higda sa inyong kwarto karon. Okay. Yan. So, pwede kayo mo while joining our quiz, you can have your coffee. It's already 2:19, mga pinagandaan ka na. Okay. So, hello sa mga taga Davao. Meron din tayong mga taga Davao Oriental. Dayaw na doon sa mayo nga tanan. Shout out dyan sa Mani Davao Oriental. Others, Bentan. We still need 7 players. Join. Hindi mo kayo makakala sa data. Last 5. 5 players. Good. Okay. Last 3 players. Come on. Join. Wala na Jud? Wala na Jud siya? Okay, let's proceed. Okay? For a while. Alright, sige, let's start. Answer for us to get more points. Here's the first question. How long is the ideal resume? Right, look at your phone and pick your answer. 1 to 2 pages, 4 to 5 pages, or it depends on the job. Okay, so join kayo. Okay, dito sa chat mag-answer. Okay. Time's up. Alright. So, 27 said it's 1 to 2 pages and you got it. Okay. Sobrang nakakapid dyan kaya wala nakatulog. Alright. So, tingnan natin who are our top 5 sa ating leaderboard. So, we have Alvin, Yasa, Brian, Glenworks, Dalika. Yan. Tingnan natin. Next question. Alright. Question 2 of 5. Answer fast to get more points. Here's the question. The objective of the resume is for the applicant to get hired. Look at your phone and then tap if it's true or false. 10 seconds to answer the question. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time's up. Tingnan natin saan dominant. Uy, 24 ang true. But sorry, the answer is false. Okay, bakit kaya? Why do you think so? So the objective of the resume is for the applicant to get an interview. Di ba tama yung kanina, application letter and resume? Bakit natin yung ginagawa in order for us to reserve for an interview? Hindi pa to get hired. Ako yung idea kanina. Anyways, tingnan natin who is leading sa ating leaderboard. Right, so I think there are changes na. See top 5 natin. Okay, there you go, Jessa, then Elaine, Angelica, Mark, and then Alvin on our 5th place. Okay, let's proceed. We still have 3 questions. 3 of 5. Answer fast to get more points. Best applicant gets code. Tap your answer if this question is true or statement is true or false. This is related to the question kanina, no? 8 seconds to answer. Yung mga time's up. Tingnan natin, dominant pa din ang true. Hala. False. Bakit? Best applicant gets the job. Ano kaya na word ang dapat i-change dyan? It could be the best interview gets the job. So, dapat galingan talaga sa interview. So, sino yung pinaka-the best na interview? Siya yung makakakuha ng position. Okay. Let's see. Sino yung I'm sure may changes na naman ating leaderboard. Alright. Okay, there you go. Jessamay, top 1 pa din sa Jessamay, Alvin, and then Christine, Elaine, and then Nick from 6212. Okay, 4 of 5. Answer fast to get 4 points. Which of the following should not be included in the resume? Masyado ka din yung answer. Anong answer niyo dyan? 14 seconds to answer the question. Which of the following should not be included in the resume? Right. Okay. Height and religion. No, necessary. Not necessary. Contact number and education. All these details are very important. So, paano ka mako-contact, no? If you look for an interview, kung wala kang contact number. Nasabi, no, Data Privacy Act, but it's necessary if you want to get the job. Okay, so height and religion, not necessary. Okay, tingnan natin sino yung top natin sa leaderboard. Will it still be Jessa? Okay, same position and same name. Jessa still on the top place. Okay, question 5-5. This is the last question. Answer fast to get more points. Last question, will you do the job? Is a general question on the applicant's blank. Skills, motivation, or adaptability. 15 seconds. 9 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and time's up. See kung saan yung dominant answer. Oy, skills. But the correct answer is motivation. Yung sa skill is, can you do the job? Motivation, will you do the job? And then yung adaptability, will you fit the job? Yun. Let's see. Sino yung winner natin? Get a cash loan. Will it still be Jessa? Yes. Okay, so Jessa May Aniscal is our winner. Sa ating feed. Please give us your number for the GCash. So, you can, I think, Jessa is here sa ating. Right, congratulations. Okay, so, ayun. Okay, so I guess that's it, no, for our session this afternoon. So if you still have question, you can write it on our Q&A button. But to inform everyone, no, you just check your BBLMS so that you'll be able to know what are the instructions, no, of your coaches for component B and also component C. So after within this week, you will be meeting with your coaches. So yung mga under sa akin, so 11931 and 11932, I guess. No, so if you have your group chat, no, sa Messenger, please add me, Benji Diansay Maynopas LTT, no, so that you can further ask questions on me. Okay, and then Ma'am Iza, no, sa other na codes, and also Ma'am May. So just communicate them, no, doon sa BBLMS, or you can chat them also on their Messenger. And then next week, no, will be our componency seminar. So on that day, magkakaroon tayo ng mock interview. So prepare lang ang tanan. No? Baka randomly you'll be picked, no, to have an online mock interview. So you grab that opportunity, no, para ma-boost inyong confidence, and then you'll be able to practice yourself being interviewed. No? So si Sir Ray yung mag-interview sa inyo. So let's get excited, no, sa mga activities na gagawin natin. And then after niya a week, we'll have our culmination day. That will be on July 6. So culmination. So other activities, no, na kailangan nyo i-submit, no. So tingnan niyo lang ang inyong mga inyong Blackboard LMS. Okay? So I guess that's it, no, for our component B seminar. Thank you very much for joining. And God bless. Keep safe, everyone. Bye-bye.